Welcome. This is the Miracle Magnet podcast, where we share stories of everyday, extraordinary humans realizing great things in their lives. I am your host, Laura Magahi, and I can't wait for you to listen and be inspired by these people who are turning pain points into positives and letting the good ripple out. Come learn and see how you too can be a miracle magnet. Hi, welcome back to the Miracle Magnet podcast. Today's guest is Nina Robert. And Nina is a miracle magnet herself because she made a big transition. So today she is a successful business coach. She helps other entrepreneurs realize their greatness in their business through online programs and in applying lots of tools. And Nina has an interesting story because she made a big pivot. She was not always the successful business coach. So this is what we'll get into today on Miracle Magnet Podcast, how Nina transitioned from engineer to this elite business coach. Welcome, Nina.
Thank you so much, Laura, for having me. And thank you for this amazing introduction. It's good to be here in the Miracle Magnet podcast. I love that name.
Yeah, miracle is a shift in perceptions. Marianne Williamson describes it as a miracle is a shift. So when we can recognize something as an opening door and to seeing something in new light. And I think that's what this is all about is, having a specific moment in our lives and realizing, aha, this has happened to me. Maybe it's happened for me and I can direct my life in a new way. And so that's you, Nina. Share with our listeners a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, so they can become a bit more familiar with you.
All right. So I started as a telecommunication engineer, as you were saying. I worked for corporate companies as an engineer, and then as a project manager, and then as a team manager. Eventually, I fell in love with leadership and coaching, and I was doing coaching without even noticing. Sometimes when my colleagues or friends will come to tell me about a situation or a problem or a challenge that they're having, I would start giving them tips and trying to solve their problems and try to build systems and strategize with them without even noticing what I was doing. I was just getting good and better at it every time, and I loved it. And eventually, I discovered coaching, and I fell in love with this area of expertise. And I learned, and I got certified from the Proctor Gallagher Institute as a success and mindset coach. And this is now my purpose and my vocation. I finally found it, and I'm doing my best to spread the word and to help as many people as I can.
That's fantastic. I love how you articulated that, Nina, because it oftentimes is sometimes people get stuck in the I don't know what my thing is. And more, we're discovering that it's something you do naturally already. So the fact that you were naturally had this, tendency to sort of coach people and suggest, give ideas and tools and resources, that was already innate in you. And so that's really nice to hear from you, because if someone's listening and they're not quite sure, what is my thing? What is my purpose? What's my passion? It's probably something you're doing already. So pay attention, look around. What are people asking of you? And likely that will give you little clues to what's your natural tendency.
I will add to that many people are good at things that they don't like, or they like doing things that they're not good at. So you have the choice either to like fall in love and shift your perspective about what you're doing. Like if you're an excellent accountant, for example, even if it seems boring, maybe you can become an artist in as an accountant. Maybe you will become like the most successful, amazing accountant in the world, and that's amazing. That's great. So even if it's boring, find a way to make it fun. And on the other side, if you like something like, I don't know, music or singing, and you think you suck at it, just learn. Just get good at it. Just keep practicing. And eventually you will fall in love with what you're doing, and you will get better at it, and your perception of this thing will shift. And eventually when you find something that you're good at, something that you can generate income from, and something that you enjoy doing, you found it. That's your vocation, that's your mission, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, love that. We can always be open to learning and trying something new, right? Enriches our lives, and you never know what's going to come from that. Thank you, Nina. So you mentioned that you had this tendency in you, and you started to learn about coaching. What was that pivot moment, though, where you're in the engineering job and you decided to shift and pivot? What had led you to that, and then sort of how long ago was that?
Well, there was a time in my life where my life was so comfortable, everything was so good. I mean, like, not really a situation where you would want to make any change from. And this is, I think, one of the hardest places in the comfort zone to get out of, because it's so comfortable. Like, it's not even that bad. You don't have any reason to make any change or to go look for what's beyond that, because you're good. So my life was like that. I already had a job that I loved. I had a nice apartment in Paris. I could travel. I mean, why change?
Exactly.
Until
So tell us, why change?
yeah, yeah, so until my body started sending me signals and saying, hey, there's something that you need to pay attention to. And that signal was an autoimmune disease that I happen to have developed. And autoimmune diseases are interesting because they carry a message that something is making my brain attack the rest of my body, if I can put it like that. So I started asking questions. Okay, what's going on? I'm probably not at peace, or not as at peace as I thought I was. So there was some part of my body that needed expression and that I was suppressing. Eventually I knew the reason. I did some introspection work, and I discovered that yes, there was a part of me that needed to be expressed, and I was not doing a good job at letting it out and fulfilling all this potential. So I took that mission to make peace with myself, with my body, to take more care of my feelings, my emotions, and to decide what my life should be like. Because at that moment in life, I figured that, hey, I have no idea what tomorrow is going to look like. With an autoimmune disease, you never know. Like, your health is at risk, and you never know if you're going to be as healthy and as capable as to enjoy life as you wish to be. So I decided that from now on, I'm going to live my life to the fullest. I'm going to express whatever it is that within me. Could it be a book, a song, whatever it is that I want to express? I'm going to get it out, and I'm going to be truthful and honest with myself in doing so. And eventually, I started discovering many things that I was capable of doing. My whole life shifted. Like, since the moment I started asking honestly, what should my life look like? And I came up with a list of things that I wanted to do. And now I'm ticking the boxes one after one, because I figured out a very simple way, an effortless way in doing whatever I wanted. The only prerequisite is, do I want that? And eventually you will find a way if you want it badly enough.
Love that, Nina. So a lot of attuning inwards, and you used the word introspection. So I think
Hmm.
important for we'll unpack what you just said. Yeah. So introspection, really looking inwards, and what is this trying to tell me, rather
Hmm.
than just put a little band-aid over it, and really look into why did this happen and how can I change it from the inside out, and to really direct your life, be the leader, the captain of your life is so
Yes.
important. And to know, and then to ask yourself, what do I really want? That was what do I really, really, really want?
Yeah.
Bob Proctor's famous for asking us to really question ourselves. What do we really, really want? And then that can help direct you. That's fantastic. Did you notice? So in that journey, would you say a span of like 5 years or 7 years where you were having the symptoms and then made a change?
It was only a few months before my symptoms started. So my symptoms started showing, and eventually I took action immediately, because I make decisions quite fast, and I then commit to the decisions. Because yeah, sometimes it seems impulsive what I do, but after that, if I commit, it's not that impulsive anymore, because I found the reason behind, and then if it makes sense, I'm going to do it until the end. So it was only a few months after I discovered this autoimmune disease that I started taking action, started making changes in my lifestyle, in the way I was thinking, in my attitude, in my self image, especially many things that I started to change. And my life, my health, my lifestyle, my income, my confidence level, everything shifted and completely changed in a matter of another few months.
Yay. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So I was wondering with the time frame if when you made the decision to listen in
Mhm.
and shift and pivot things on the outside to reflect more what your inner calling was, had you noticed an ease in the symptoms?
Oh, absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
totally cured right now. The symptoms completely disappeared.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Wow.
it sounds like magic, but it's really much simpler than that. We tend to label something as magic or as a miracle if we cannot understand how it was done or how it happened, but it's not that difficult. As soon as you understand what's going on in the mind, and as soon as you understand the fact that your body is just a manifestation of what's going on in the mind, and then as soon as you get this shift to make a change in your attitude, in your self-image, in the way you see things, everything will change immediately in a matter of few months.
That's incredible. Wow. Well, I'm so happy for you. That's so
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thanks.
Yay to good health and feeling vibrant. I think, that would be one of the things we all want. We want to have this vibrant, healthy, dynamic life. With
Yeah.
the energy literally flowing through you. There's no blockages. So yes, Nina, I too can identify because I was in my late 20s and I was having so many body sort of symptoms and dis-ease from the inside out. And I was really questioning myself because I thought I'm young. I should not be having all of these issues. And as I sought, experts to help me, mend the thing from the outside, I wasn't healing from the inside. And it was only in the
Mhm.
moment where I recognized, aha, I have to change my inner voice, my intuition. I have to listen because my body is literally calling me in a different direction. And then once I did, um, my whole life changed, and just like magic.
Absolutely.
So you are a business coach now and a mentor for other entrepreneurs who are seeking to excel in their area. What habits and routines do you incorporate that help you be successful?
There are a few things that I would recommend. First of all, start slowly. When we are so motivated to start a new lifestyle, new way of planning our day, we tend to go like so fast and do so much at the beginning, so we get overwhelmed. So don't do that. Start implementing habits one habit at a time. As soon as you implemented that habit, as soon as it becomes like almost on autopilot, you can do it without even thinking. Now you can start implementing the next habit. So one thing I started with that is so easy is to practice gratitude every morning. So I would write on my tablet or use pen and paper, just put something next to my bed. And every time I wake up, I would think of 10 things I'm grateful for. And the 10 things do not have to be already manifested in real life. I should be grateful for anything that I want to manifest. And this is one crucial tip or piece of advice that is so valuable. And I love it because if we are already grateful for what we want, we are much closer to manifesting it much easier. So start with gratitude. After that, do something for your body. Could be taking a shower, could be your daily skin routine, could be anything that is good for your body, that you're showing love. You're doing any act of self-care to start the day, to just show love to yourself. That's amazing, an amazing way to start the day feeling great, feeling at ease, and feeling energetic. So do something healthy and caring for yourself, gratitude, and then eventually sit in silence for a few minutes every day. Try to avoid distractions and try to listen to your own thoughts without judgment, without overthinking them. Just Label the thought and let it pass by like a cloud. Eventually, you'll feel much more at ease and much less stressed, because let's face it, stress is now becoming one major part of our days. Sitting in silence for a few minutes can really help clear out the thoughts and be able to make better decisions throughout the day, because I believe we have a decision battery, what I call decision battery. So the more decisions we make throughout the day, the less they are efficient. So take the time to take a break throughout the day and sit in silence. It's like buffering and recharging your decision battery. These are three things I would recommend.
I love that. Yeah, that that you can get from early morning, starting your day right, loving yourself, giving yourself some attention before you give yourself to everybody else in the day.
Yeah.
Being clear is, yeah, definitely going to help you throughout your day of taking aligned action and really being conscious of our thoughts and the
Mhm.
feelings throughout our day to help us on our manifesting journey. It's fantastic. And yeah, keeping it small and manageable, right? If we want to be successful,
Yes.
we have to start small and build our confidence and our self image from there, keeping everything in those little bite sized chunks. Fantastic. Nina, you had mentioned earlier that you had asked yourself when you were transitioning from engineer to business coach, that you asked yourself, what do I really want?
Hmm.
And you have a list, and that's super important to sit down with oneself and really, ask yourself regularly, what do I
Hmm.
really want? Because things are always shifting. Yeah, we
Oh,
can check
yes.
some off and add some on. Maybe even we take some off, things that don't apply
Hmm.
anymore or don't resonate as we change and evolve. Is there something that has surprised you? So I say you've manifested this life because it was an idea. Once you drew up your list of how you wanted to live, how you wanted to serve and use your life, how you want to feel in your body, you called the Proctor Gallagher Institute and this opportunity. Um, you've manifested this. So was there something surprising about this journey?
Absolutely. There are so many surprising things that happened, and I'm truly grateful for everything, a single thing. The first thing I noticed when I started doing this want list activity is that my want list at the beginning was very shy and small, and I was ready to settle for like the least, like very small things, like I want to get better, I want to be healthier, I want to achieve this amount of money that was ridiculous. So I had this mindset of, if it doesn't happen, it's not a problem, that's okay. And then eventually I said, hey, I can do better than that. Let's try to manifest something bigger, something scary. And guess what? It takes the exact amount of effort and time to manifest something big and scary as to manifest something small and insignificant. So
Yeah.
dream big, go big. I wouldn't call it a wish list, I would call it a want list. Because when you're wishful, you're kind of having the mindset of depending on some extra external forces or on somebody else, but you want that, you're ready to commit, you're ready to make the sacrifice. So I manifested many things in many people, and what surprised me the most is how my attitude shifted quite immediately after I made this decision to really listen to what I want, and eventually how people start perceiving me very differently. If we met a few years ago, you wouldn't even have noticed me in the street because I was some kind of invisible person that nobody would ever notice.
Oh,
Because this is what I thought about myself, that okay, I need to be discreet, I need to be very shy and very invisible because this is the safe way to be. But guess what? It's not. It's not even that safe because your body will go nuts, will
right.
rebel against you. So I started expressing myself, I started gaining confidence, and I started developing this new persona that I'm now inhabiting. I'm still in the same body, I still have the same character, but I'm feeling much better because I'm in peace with myself and I'm expressing myself much better. And it's noticeable. People, even people who knew me since I was a child, knows they think like you are a totally different person because
Mhm.
we never thought you would be able to be that kind of person. Guess what? Neither did I, but hey, here we are.
That's so fantastic, Nina. And I was probably similar. I was, you know, I was just, I don't know, I want to say a disciplined little girl. I
Yeah,
was always quiet and, you know, mild.
the good girl syndrome.
Yeah, and I think it's really cultural programming.
Oh yeah.
I really think I absorbed what other people, you know, oftentimes we do that. We take on other people's ideals. And
Yes.
as children, of course, we become them. And until we start to question ourselves as adults and we can to realize we can rewrite that self-image, we can rewrite our own movie and, you
Hmm.
know, be the star of our own movie. It's quite liberating
Yeah, I love
and
that.
empowering, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So how has this changed your life? You can tell us a little bit how you're serving and how it's, you know, because I want our listeners to be empowered also. If they're on the cusp of change, if they know something within them isn't quite right and they want to make it right and make a big change, to realize that it has an impact beyond just themselves in serving the community. So, and that they should do it.
Hmm.
So how has this manifestation of your new work situation, your new health situation, changed your life, impacted your life?
Well, yeah, I can do a little comparison, like the before and after. I love doing this. The before, few years ago, versus today. Today, I'm making maybe 10 times what I was making in 2014. Like, let's go back 10 years ago. Like literally more than 10 times what I was making. Now I'm much healthier, much more fit, and feeling amazing every day, radiating this confident energy that I would never have dreamt of. Even the slightest difference, that was really one of the most amazing shifts that I manifested. In the meantime, I've written two books, written and published, self-published on Amazon. I just finished writing my second book and published in just 6 weeks. This was like a huge record for me. I never thought I was capable of doing so, but once you're getting into this mindset of, if I want it, I'm gonna go get it, and I'm going to do the work, and I'm going to make any sacrifice that I need to make. Eventually, you will be amazed of how much you can achieve. And guess what? There is still so much for me to do, and I cannot get enough.
Well, fantastic. Well, congratulations on the book,
Thank you.
the publishing, because yeah, that is a big deal. And I think, yeah, it's this, you're in the spirit of it and this liveliness is coming through you and expresses itself in a more fluid way when we release the blocks and we
Hmm.
realize we can rewrite our own script and we can be the captains and release ourselves from having to be a certain way and live a certain way. We can really open up the doors really, and these ideas come quite naturally. So
Hmm.
what are some of your services that you're providing, Nina, now as a business
Uh,
coach?
Now the main service for me is the program Thinking into Results that was designed by Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher. I'm now a part of the Proctor Gallagher Institute, and I teach this program that helped millions of people around the world shift their perspective, increase their income, achieve massive amounts of growth, both in personal and professional areas. I do that, and I work with especially entrepreneurs, leaders, and business owners. Um, I also have my books, and I also have a podcast called The Success Catalyst. So I always love to talk about success and share success stories, because I believe success is contagious. When you're around success, you're gonna get it. Yeah, you're
Yes,
gonna catch it.
absolutely. You're gonna catch it. Love that, Nina. Love how you are serving and how listening to your inner calls and those whispers, those urges from within you, how you are now impacting people's lives in a really big and important way. You touched on it a little bit, but you can maybe elaborate. Why should somebody be inspired by your story? Yeah.
Because I'm the product of what I teach. I'm the living proof that this stuff works. Like by comparing the before and after, especially for people who knew me before. And if you don't know me before, maybe go check my social media 10 years ago and compare this version of whatever it was that I was doing then. And you will see that it looks like magic, but it's much easier than you think. And once you get it, you'll never get enough. And if people should be inspired by something, is that I was there. I was having all the challenges. I was having all the mental blocks that I thought were going to hold me back for all my life. But as soon as I made the decision, everything was effortless.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. And that is inspiring because, we're all the same. We're
Yeah.
all at an equal level and we're all just wanting to live better lives. And when we can live better, we make our impact is more, I don't know, meaningful and authentic. And so
Yes.
to know that you are just like, the people who are seeking change, people can really identify with you. Do you have some advice if someone was starting out and they are noticing, again, this inner stirring, this inner calling, and they are wanting and to make a shift as well? Do you have any advice for them?
One advice that I would give anyone starting this amazing journey is to decide what your self image is like now and decide what it's going to be. And know that you have the power to change it. For me, is the activity was very simple, to write a description of what I feel like right now, like in true honesty, true transparency with myself. It could be very such a vulnerable experience because it's not obvious to be honest with ourselves. It may seem paradoxical, but it's not. So do this. Describe your inner self image as it is today. Describe all your inner blocks or all your limiting beliefs, and then decide on another sheet of paper what you want your life to look like and what you want your future self to look like. And then go and start acting like them. And eventually, the things that they have will come to you much easier than you'd expect.
Love that. That's great advice to start with the self. Yeah. Um, Nina, do you have a quote that inspires you in those challenging moments? We always have setbacks, there's always challenges. Is there something that you repeat to yourself, a mantra, a quote that inspires you to keep on the cusp, to keep going and persevere?
Yes, the divine operation is always for expression and follow expansion and follow expression. Sorry, let me say that again. The divine operation is always for expansion and follow expression. And we are part of the divine. So in whatever we do, let's seek expression and expansion. Let's make everything brighter, better, bigger, and let's live to the
Yes.
fullest.
I'm with you. I caught your good energy, Nina.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. How can our listeners keep in touch with you if they're interested in following along on your journey or interested in some of your services? How can they, get in touch with you?
Yeah, so I'm on social media, Nina Robert Coaching, or my website, ninarobertcoaching.com. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok or LinkedIn. I always go by Nina Robert. And you also can find my books on Amazon. The first book is called Clean Up Your Life, and the second book is called Mind Fitness for Entrepreneurs, all within the self-help category, and all talking about the self-image, talking about goals, talking about success, and the mind faculties.
Hey, wow, such a treasure you are, and such a
Thank you
delightful
so much.
conversation. Nina, thank you so much for sharing your story of how you healed from the inside out, and you are always striving for full expression in service of others. So thank you so much for being with us on the Miracle Magnet podcast. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye,
Laura.
everybody. Thank you ever so much for tuning into this recent episode of the Miracle Magnet podcast, where we aim to inspire everyday people to be extraordinary in their own lives, in their own ways. You can continue this good magnetism by forwarding this podcast episode to a friend whom you think might benefit, or perhaps even share with us your very own miracles.